Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has passed a sum of 2.67 trillion as contained in the 2024 Appropriation Act Amendments Bill. The bill was passed following the presentation of a report by the Chairman Committee on Appropriations, Senator Adiola Olamilekon. He said the amendment for capital and recurrent expenditures made provisions for key infrastructure projects omitted in the 2024 Appropriation Act and the recently approved national minimum wage. Upon consideration of all 13 clauses by the Committee on Supply, the Senate passed the bill for third reading.
Follow the need to provide for the government equity component of the renewed hope infrastructural project and other critical projects to be undertaken across the country, and other recurrent expenditure requirements like the provision for new minimum wage, among others, which necessitated the request for the amendment of 2024 Appropriation Act.
To authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation of the sum of 3,200 billion only for capital expenditure and the sum of 3 trillion only for recurrent expenditure for the year ending 31st day of December 2024.
Similarly, the Upper Legislative Chamber also passed a bill seeking to impose a one-time windfall tax on banks for foreign exchange forex gains. The bill was passed by the Upper Legislative Chamber after Sani Musa, chair of the Finance Committee, presented a report. While presenting his report, Musa said windfall tax is not meant to be paid by banks to their shareholders as dividends. He added that any bank that withholds a tax would be liable to pay 10% in addition to what they ought to have paid.
30 to 33 and a citation. The methodology we used was an interaction with the sponsors of the bill, request for stakeholders' inputs and comments and observations of the bill, review of relaxed existing legislation to meet international best practices, and we reviewed the stakeholders' inputs and consideration of the draft report. The objectives of the bill is to provide for the imposition of windfall profit levy and assessments and review of profits declaration.